There's a high school biology teacher in Marion County who's looking forward to seeing his 35th consecutive 500-mile race next Sunday, only this time it will be different. For the first time in 3 decades, he won't be lugging an 80-pound trophy into victory lane. The Borg Warner Trophy has been in existence since 1936. It's a gift of the Borg Warner Corporation. You'll find here the face, the name, the year, and the winning speed of every 500-mile winner. It's made of sterling silver, it weighs 80 pounds, and it was originally valued at $10,000. Obviously, that value is considerably higher today. Since 1953, one man has been in charge of it during the month of May.
The frog is similar to your physical makeup internally.
Jack McKenzie, now a biology teacher at Lawrence North High School, was a student at Butler University when he heard that the Speedway was looking for someone to be the trophy's caretaker during the month of May, take it to all 500 events. McKenzie, who had grown up in Mooresville, was a race fan anyway, and besides, it would help cover some costs as he prepared for a teaching career. The revenue was minimal, $75 the first year, but he wasn't really in it for the money. He loved all the activity. The pay grew gradually, but the number of activities involving the trophy multiplied many times with the birth of the festival. McKenzie transported the trophy around in the back seat of his car, concealed by an army blanket. He also has stored up memories about each trip to Victory Lane, the first one on a very hot day.
The trophy had sit out in the sun all day, and it got extremely hot, and by the time I got down there, I was soaking wet, clear down to my underwear, you might say.
That also was the year he lived in a fraternity house and kept the trophy in his room. One night he came back from a date and to his horror found it missing.
Couldn't find it and looked all over the house and finally found it down in the basement with a bunch of fellows around it, and they were drinking something out of it, and they wouldn't tell me what it was, but I think we know, being a bunch of college students.
In 1957, Sam Hanks won, then announced his retirement as a driver.
It was the first time that I'd ever seen a race car driver cry. And as a youngster, I never thought these men had any feelings or anything. I thought they were all just like big bulldogs.
When Roger Ward won in 1959, his wife appeared with her pet terrier. Roger kissed his wife and hugged the dog.
That was the first year that a dog had ever appeared in Victory Lane.
Then there was gentleman Jimmy Clark in 1965.
He was a quiet, shy young man, and he didn't even want to get out of the race car.
In 1966, Graham Hill almost was the victim of a post-race accident.
I almost dropped the trophy on Graham Hill's head right after he pulled into Victory Lane.
The 1972 winner, Mark Donahue, didn't like milk, traditionally supplied by the dairy industry.
He wouldn't drink the milk, and finally a mechanic says, "Mark, take a drink of milk. It's worth $1,500. So Mark naturally took a drink of milk.
In 1977, when A.J. Foyt became the track's first 4-time winner.
I think that was one of the biggest thrills out at the Speedway, is placing the trophy on the back of A.J. Foyt's car for the 4th time.
Jack McKenzie made his last Victory Lane Borg Warner appearance a year ago when Gordon Johncock won by a fraction of a second. Borg Warner and the Speedway decided the May responsibility should now be in their hands and those of the security patrol.
You get a little older, the trophy's getting a little heavier. You do something for 30 years, and I feel that I've had my fun. I've enjoyed going to all the different activities associated with Speedway, so it's time for somebody else to have a little fun out of it. I doubt if I even go up to Victory Lane because I know what goes on there. It's a packed, mixed, tight crowd, and I've seen it all, so they can get along without me, I'm sure.